Testing, blah. Oh my god, what happened to my skin? What the hell happened to the color correction? There we go. It's supposed to be a face, not an orange. We're not that American. Fuck me. Ah, America. Land of the free. Land of the bald. Eagles. The 51 states. The 51st one being Greenland. Oh, sweet freedom. You can fit so much freedom in this bad boy. Yes, indeed. Ooh, my face is no longer green. Well, so much for Greenland, I guess. Disgusting. Good evening. Lotties, lasses, and lasses, and welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else lie to you and tell you otherwise. Today, we're doing something beautiful. Social media has never been on more fire than it is currently. And that's why we are going through r/tAmericansSay, because... Enjoy! How can this be today when it's 7:45 a.m. and this as it happens at 11 a.m.? Hoy there, we are the National Gallery in London. Maybe put that on your screen name. There is a National Gallery in Washington, D.C. and there is a London in Ohio or something like that. Wait, let me Google. Is there a London in Ohio? Yes, there is a city named London in Ohio. Sort of God, the jokes write themselves. You should have specified. It wasn't London, England, whatever country that is. It's London, Ohio. Duh, the real main character. Is there a Stockholm in Ohio? There's no major city named Stockholm in Ohio. Oh, take it, Ohio. Superior. Ugh. They're burning American flags all over Europe. I thought our president made that illegal. Oh dear God, this post makes me so glad that Trump cannot decide laws in Europe. Thank God. A personal experience with tariffs. Ordered a piece of equipment from Spain. Delivery is held until I cough up $450 of import fees. This is 22% of the purchase price. I thought the manufacturer from Spain would pay for this. Nah, I pay for it. How does this benefit me? Asking for a friend. Important from DHL. There's an import duty on shipment. The amount is $450. Hippity-dippity, how could this happen to me? I only voted for it. Something leopard eating people's faces. Well, if you want to look at it like a glass half full, I do believe that a lot more people understand what a tariff actually is now compared to a year ago. You know, silver linings and all of that kind of shit. But now you gotta pay for the silver lining. Daily Mail. Denmark's postal service just delivered its final letter after 400 years of service. Well, that's because no one can understand the letters. If America is 250 years old, how is Denmark sending mail for 400 years? Ah, yes. Because Danish people only send letters to America. What the fuck is the thought behind this comment? Is there a thought behind this comment? Danmark är äldre än oss. There we go. Nailed. Did you see what I mean? No one can understand it. It's not a real language. Oh, dear. US is very young compared to most countries. The Kingdom of Denmark is considered to be established in the 10th century. Cameloso. You see, my dear Danes, if your postal service only existed to deliver letters to the USA for whatever reason, how could it have been 400 years old when the US, the only receiver of letters, is only 250 years? Explain that in Danish. I am fucking losing the few brain cells I have left making this video. No one in EU ever heard of Greenland before. Now all of them are interested in Greenland. Only Americans would say something as stupid as this. You didn't even know Greenland was a thing until now. And now you pretend to care. Oh, who's ever heard of Greenland before? Motherfucker, you're the people who can't tell Greenland and Iceland apart, for fuck's sake. The USA will liberate Greenland from Denmark. Free Greenland. Have you asked Greenland about it? I don't think they need any liberating. Like how you liberated other countries. No thanks. Man, there seems to be a lot of talk about Greenland on social media. Too bad as a European, I don't know what Greenland is. But apparently Americans do, so I don't know what it's about. But you know, but here we are.
Oh my god, Click, how can you not know what...
I know what fucking Greenland is. I was making a joke. There are 50,000 Greenland citizens. Here we go again, baby. Only green flags when you talk about Greenland. USA government will spend $50 billion and give each Greenland citizen $1 million tax-free to purchase Greenland. An additional 2.4 trillion will be paid to Denmark to purchase Greenland. You might have to step that up considering the dollar has lost like 20% value in the last year. In addition, all Greenlanders will be granted USA citizenship and USA economic benefits, e.g. better taxes, corporate benefits, etc. The ability to move to inland USA for Greenlanders is there as now USA citizens, such as New York, California, Florida, or Texas. I mean, yay, $1 million, but that's gonna be burnt on your first hospital visit, so you know, there's that. You are telling me Greenlanders wouldn't be interested? Would have to be out of mind to not accept. Okay, if I ever became a billionaire from reading memes on YouTube and did a musky husky and purchased a social media website, and I didn't want it to turn to absolute garbage, I would totally have there be like a mandatory quiz. Whenever there's a world event going on and you can't point to it on a map, you can't post it. You're like blocked from posting. It's like, oh, we recognized Greenland as a keyword. Point to Greenland on the map. You couldn't do it. You thought Greenland was ice, and too bad. Your post is now kapoosh. That'd be amazing. It'd be so good. So good. I've solved it. Pro-laugh, pro-gun, pro-God, pro-Trump. But isn't God and Trump the same thing? The shirt is redundant. Arc Raiders, Headwinds 270126. Next time, change the date format when you do this. You have a big player base in the US. Cater towards the player base. Look at me. I am the main character playing your game. Why don't you produce date formats that I am familiar with? Because I can't fucking read. Like, I guess it's fine to find it inconvenient when someone uses a system you're not used to. I mean, that's okay, and maybe you'll have to do a double take to be like, oh, wait, is that like, oh, yeah, it's that way. You know, that's fine. I do that sometimes too when Americans send me dates, you know? But also, like, being a main character about it, that's what makes you a little cringe-lord. Trump just told an audience in Switzerland that without USA, right now you would all be speaking German. Oh, mein Gott. How could this happen? German is the main language in Switzerland. And then we have someone chiming in on this. No, it isn't. It's English. German is the secondary language of Switzerland. That's not even true either. What the f***? Scandinavian and even bastard-navian countries, Switzerland and Finland? What do you mean? Speak English and largely forgo their native languages. Have you been to any of these places? Like, dear God? I mean, if you wanted to make the argument that certain dialects of Swiss German is barely German to begin with, I would kind of buy that point. You know, I was traveling in the mountains in Switzerland a while ago, and I think my German is pretty decent. And I went up to a guy who was managing like a lift or something like that. I was like, Grüezi, wie geht's, blah, blah, blah. And he replied like this. And I was like, Entschuldigung? And he said, and after I said, excuse me, the fifth time, I just smiled and nodded, and he led me to the place I was supposed to go. So yes, I would agree with that point, low-key. Dialects do be in heavy variance and can be quite difficult. But that doesn't mean it's freaking USA-centered. Oh my God. I am seriously getting American fatigue. I am especially tired of Americans born after World War II acting as if they personally won the war. Don't you know that if they didn't win the war, though, they would speak German in Germany? Can you imagine? Disgusting. Yeah, they really do just use schools for I was gonna say shots fired or something, but then I did anyway. The Danish kingdom. Bro skull emoji. They have a king. It's a kingdom. I thought no kings, though. No kings. In the United States. I wouldn't be surprised if we have like a crowning for Trump in the near future or something like that. And I'm calling it, if they do, it's gonna be really like extravagant but really ugly crown. It's gonna have like a Gucci branding on it or something. I'm fucking calling it. J.D. Vance, Denmark is not being a good ally. We fought your wars with you. We lost soldiers for you. Now you threaten our territory. Look in the damn mirror. First of all, that was 85 years ago. Lost soldiers for the U.S.? Ha! No, we were pretty much liberating your continent then, and without us, you'd be speaking either German or Russian. So now we're 80 years in the future. We need Greenland to deal with today's threats. Yes, like having a border close to Russia, or what was the argument? Do they think the Earth is flat? I think they do. We're gonna get what we need. You might as well make it easy and make it lucrative. There is a special breed of like social media main characters that go online and claim personal victory in wars that were fought 80 years ago. And on top of that, they believe they speak for their entire countries, all while, I don't know, sitting at home unemployed and probably not even dressed. Get off social media. Not to mention the lack of maturity. I mean, you're basically talking like bullies did back when I was like 10 years old. Passenger rail networks in the United States versus Europe. Please, miss, can I have some more pixel, please? They had to say passenger rails because the USA rail network is far larger than all Europe. 260,000 versus 204,000 kilometers. We could obviously put passenger trains on it, but since no one would use them, that would be idiotic. Americans drive cars. Riding a train is not a flex. Riding a train allows someone else to control when and where you can travel. Like red lights, kind of, I guess. Less freedom is never a good thing. Or you can have more freedom by choosing if you want to take your car or a train. I think most people would argue that is more freedom because it's more options, but you know, what do I know? I'm just European. I don't even know what Greenland is, so you know. Make America go away. Greenland embraces the new MAGA hat. Make America go away. That is so smooth. I'm kind of tempted to buy some of this Greenland merch. Hell yes.
America defends Greenland. They have no military, and neither does Denmark.
What's with the color correction today, please? I wonder how many of the people making these comments are bots versus actual real people. And I'm not sure if like either one of the answers would make it worse. I mean, would it be worse if you realize that we have like a super dead internet already? It's like, oh, thank God this isn't real people. But at the same time, this is what's pushing opinions. But on the other hand, if it's real people, then that's also sad. It's just sad, isn't it? Breaking. The US is considering paying Greenlanders $10,000 to $100,000 each. Wait, wasn't it $1 million? We may soon witness the largest acquisition ever. Haha, no person would be stupid enough to give up EU citizenship for a meager 100... Wait, okay, never mind. That's more money than many Europeans would make in their whole lives. What? Europe? You mean Euro poor? I asked random Italians to point out Italy on a map. Geography is not their strength. Look at all these dots. Wait a second, this is from a page called The Roman Senate and People. Oh, the dots are the Roman Empire. So you have Italy there in the middle, and then it's like how far the Roman Empire stretched. That's pretty funny. This is a funny meme. And they yell at the Americans for bringing bad at geography. Also being bad at English. I think you didn't understand the joke at all. I really must not. It is the Roman Empire. I feel like people just go on social media to be angry, but they don't even understand what they're angry about. It's so weird. It reminds me of my nephew, who has like tantrums and stuff when he's tired, but he doesn't want to go to bed, so he insists on staying up while being tired and mad instead of sleeping. But he's also 4 years old, you know, so it's a little bit different. Oh, Canada goose, it's the goose. I don't even support Trump, but it's a fact that we allow you to exist. Say that to the geese. I wouldn't f*** with a goose. These restaurants on that BS again. Tip not included. Suggested tip options are provided for your convenience. 20% is 7.59. Actually, it's not that. 6.83, which is actually 5.49, and so on. They have just done the percentages wrong, maybe on purpose. Smiley, I do math. Gratuity total. They still tipped 20% though, just the correct 20%. So the person tipping is still being really generous, you know, they're just not buying the fake percentages. I mean, it's just $1 or $2? I mean, $6 in this case, $7.50 if you were to believe the original percentages, so it's actually not just $1 or $2. And it goes directly to the server. If you can't afford to tip your waiter or waitress, you probably shouldn't be dining out. But they did though. They tipped 20%. Like, even if you want to dive into like the tipping culture war or whatever, they still tipped 20%. They just didn't tip an amount and were lied to about the percentages actually was. They still tipped 20%. And it's way more than $1 or $2. What do you mean? I am 100% Italian. I never seen anyone eat the pizza with a fork and knife other than deep dish Chicago pizza when I grew up there. Oh, so you grew up in Chicago. Okay. How are you Italian if you grew up in Chicago? I have seen Italians in Rome eating Neapolitan pizza with fork and knife, and also other Italians with hands. Because my parents are Italian? Is that a serious question? Lol, I don't care what you've seen. I give my opinion on my culture, even though I've never been to Italy. I mean, you can have Italian heritage, but that doesn't mean like you know what it's like to live in it. Those are different things. Heritage versus like where you grew up are different things, and that's okay, but this is weird. I gave my opinion on my culture, even though it's wrong. You don't gatekeep my opinions, woman. It's not an opinion. An incorrect fact is not an opinion. The freedom to be wrong. So you're American then, thanks for letting us know. I disagree. Someone who has 2 Italian parents and Italian citizenship is Italian, even if they spent their childhood in Chicago. Italian citizenship means anything. If you don't know we eat pizza with a fork and knife, you have never seen Italy in your life. I mean, heritage and where you're from personally are very much, indeed, distinct differences. Like, I have friends, for example, in Sweden who have dual citizenship, but they grew up in Sweden and went to school in Sweden, yada yada, had their childhoods here. Just because they have a passport somewhere else doesn't mean they magically know what it's like to grow up there. They probably have connections to it, or connections in the family, or traditions they follow, or whatever, you know, to whatever extent they want to express that. But that doesn't mean you magically know what it's like to live in a place you actually haven't lived in. Those are vastly different things. A Business Insider. I moved from the US to the world's most livable city. After nearly 2 years of disappointment, I couldn't wait to leave. She read on the internet that Copenhagen is the happiest city in the world, but she didn't do her homework. The weather is not what she expected, and the winter days are very short, but in summer they are much longer. She thought she had a good salary, but the cost of living was higher than expected. She even complained about that she cannot get advantage of maternity leave and childcare because she doesn't have and she's not planning kids. What do you mean? Why would you get maternity leave if you're not a maternal or whatever? Oh my god. But it's for me. It's for my inner child. Basically, she's complaining about things she could have learned before moving if she at least did her homework about Copenhagen. Quote, I moved to a country without being able to speak the language. It made it harder to settle in and make friends. I am shocked. I mean, to be fair, it's Danish. But also, this is just weird. But also, on top of that, right? I knew plenty of people, especially back in uni and stuff, who were like exchange students and that sort of thing. They made plenty of friends without ever learning Swedish, you know? They went to a master's program where the program was in English. They lived in student corridors where all kind of social stuff happened and they all spoke English, or it was Swedes who were happy speaking English, or like other foreign exchange students, or what have you. They made plenty of friends. Like, God, they were more social than I was. So, like, that whole argument also is kind of like weird. I suppose it's a bit different if you're just like moving completely in the blind as an adult. Maybe it's a bit harder to find like places to do that. But that's also not true. Like, if you move to a country completely blind, don't even read up on what the weather is like, don't speak the language, and then you're like surprised not everything goes your way. And also, I don't get maternity leave even though I don't have kids. What? I thought Denmark was socialist, what? Oh, this meme doesn't fit in here at all. I don't know why this was here, but it's pretty funny. 2000 to 2022. Your drawing is terrible. Is that a headshot? Quit art. Quit art. It's Sanic. Oh, so sad. But now, it's real art and has sold. No AI slop. A true masterpiece. It's Sanic. He just removed the Sanic word, though, and put it in a nicer frame. So it's more like he just doesn't embrace his dyslexia anymore. So people like it. Man, why do you have to do this to dyslexic people like myself? That is so sad. Here is a little receipt from eating out. Added tip, 20%, $3.30, and they added $3.35. Perfectly generous, just over 30%. Total 21. Plus kitchen tip. Why? No dishwasher tip? No shareholder tip? Oh right, that's the one that gets paid fully without tips. You have to tip the server, the kitchen staff, the dishwasher, the owner of the place, the shareholders, and then also the people who rent out the actual property. So your meal for one burger is gonna cost you roughly $400. Thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk. Bringing American culture to Greenland, pizza emoji. You mean blue cities? Also the entire continent of Europe fits in Texas. We got 49 more states. American education strikes again. I love social media comments. It's great. If you ever thought that humanity was getting smarter over the millennia and stuff,
Do your school not have metal detectors? What, did you have metal detectors in school or what?
I think you went to prison.
What do you mean?
Not in the UK, man. Schools are pretty safe here. Schools have metal That's so dark, man. That is just dark. 1% tattoo, not to be confused with the MC 1%, but my 1% Northern Spain that I am proud of emojis. Look at this, 1% Northern Spain, and I tattooed it on my hand. Isn't that like literally within the margin of error? I'm not sure if I would tattoo that on my hand. Also, it can change because when more people like sign up for these services, they can also map the DNA more correctly. So this is such a low percent that it could even change. Not because your DNA changes, but because the mapping gets more accurate and 1% is so small that it could be within that margin of error. So this is silly. Even if it were to be correct, it's silly, and it might not even be real. I've eaten ham with more Spanish DNA than this person. I'm asking for a friend. If Trump brings Greenland under American control, isn't that automatically a win for Europe and NATO? US presence would secure the Arctic, erase strategic separation, and make Greenland, and by extension Europe, effectively protected. Is the friend in the room here with us? I am not saying it should be handed over, but strategically this is undeniable leverage. I swear to God, we should have like a pop quiz before people are allowed to post on social media. You know? Ivermectin, parentheses, ivermectin, injection for cattle and swine, 1% sterile solution. How much is 2 milliliters? This is America. We don't do common European metric. Walmart doesn't have a 3mm measuring spoon. We do teaspoons and tablespoons. In an emergency, we can do a pinch of this, pinch of that. But let me be very clear, we don't do metric. You know, we just do a pinch of ivermectin, a splash of essential oils, a gaggle of Hagen-Dagen. You know, it's great. Denmark! So can we as Europeans take Trump out of office because of natural security? All American America's undefeated on European soil. Yeah, but don't you see the map? Don't you see Denmark? Australia right now, 45 degrees. Holy fuck, man. I don't know, as an American, that seems pretty cold. It's over 100 in Texas every year. 40s is pretty cold. Ah, yes, those little 100 degrees Celsius summers in Texas. Yummy.
Ma, I let the dog outside and he boiled. Aw, Timmy, I told you not to let the dog outside. It's boiling.
You know, back when I was a kid, I used to think that saying, oh, it's 100 degrees outside was just like a saying. It's just, you know, oh, it's like literally boiling. It's so hot. You know, it's a saying, you know. But it wasn't a saying. It's what the actual measurement looks like. Personally, I cannot imagine why any citizen of Greenland would not want to be part of the US. Your culture will stay the same. Nothing will be pushed onto you apart from being fucking invaded. But you have the protection of the United States, and the United States will always make sure you have what you need. Sounds great to me. Ah, yes, can't wait for the US to import, I don't know, unaffordable healthcare and ice agents to Greenland. The pun potential there is not lost on me. Bet that shit is banned in Europe. Cotton candy and marshmallows? Nobody eats marshmallows out of USA, I think.
What is it? These people, they just make up things.
They just have fever dreams. And then they spew it on social media and they're like, I think this is true. Because it came to me in a fever hallucination. So it must be true. Yay. If it's so valuable, how do you type it on a computer? Like this. I have a button for it. Oh, shit. British keyboards are like that? Yes. Oh dear God, just wait until they hear that my keyboard here from Sweden has OÄ on it. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna show it because my keyboard is kind of dirty right now and I do not wish to embarrass myself. But yes, it has OÄ. It's very cool. Call me crazy, but I think I would rather be owned by the United States than Denmark. LOL. It has 13k likes. How is America only 250 years old? Something just ain't right about that. What exactly isn't right about that? 2026 minus 1776 is 250. What? Why do these people believe that America can't possibly be only 250 years, but the Earth is totally only 7,000 years? What's with that dissonance? What's with that? Apparently it's not Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the UK. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone? Does this help? English, traditional. English, simplified. Oh wait, it goes on. This is a stupid response. American English is the standard. Your British English, part of a tiny island nation that's rapidly losing significance and control over its grip of the rest of the world. Before USA, not America because it's a continent, not a country, spoke English, UK spoke English. So no, USA doesn't own English, dumbass. USA is not the center of the universe. British English? Never heard of it. It's like Greenland. It's just made up stuff that no one knows what it is. Do my kids really have an Indian accent when they talk? She has an articulation issue, not an accent.
She needs a speech therapist.
She needs a speech therapist. The mom shows the way her American daughter growing up in India pronounces certain words. Perfectly normal pronunciations in India, as stated by the mom and comments from Indians. And the comment section is flooded with Americans saying it's not an accent, but a speech impediment. I don't even know what to brand this. Is this like accidental racism? It doesn't feel accidental. It feels kind of aggressive. I don't know, man. I don't even know how to label this, but it's kind of weird. The US won't invade Greenland. They will merely offer its inhabitants a US citizenship. And voila! Do you mean voila? Did you wrote it as voila? There you go, another Hawaii. I am sure the local inhabitants would rather have US citizenship than be treated like second-class citizen by Denmark. As the second-class citizen of Hawaii who had their homes burned down while the officials impeded fire and rescue teams, all because the government and rich elite wanted their land. Voila! Fuck's sake, I'm gonna leave this planet. Voila! There's Mars. Voila! It sounds really funny. I'm gonna start saying this. It's great. Does every state have a rugby team or only Georgia? If America was a comment, it's a country, mate. What do you mean? But what about the Georgia in Ohio? What about that one? I still can't get over the fact that Athens, Dublin, and Rome are named after cities in Georgia. No, Athens is named after Athens, Ohio, you see? Called it. Also, London is named after London, Ohio. Take that, Londoners.
What do you mean London and England existed
Before something Europors would say. Disgusting.
Real carbonara has cream.
No, it doesn't. Authentic Italian carbonara doesn't have cream. The Western version adds cream.
Real carbonara was actually invented in Chicago, and that recipe came with full cream. Therefore, it's both American recipe and the authentic version of has cream.
The American version doesn't have grammar in it, though. That's a bummer. Poor carbonara. Kmart doesn't exist anymore, buddy. I think you meant Walmart. Jesus, fuck, it's in Australia. Austria never had Kmarts. I fear I said Australia, not Austria. Ooh, but it's the same country, isn't it? I remember that story where a couple bought like tickets to Austria thinking it was Australia, and they were shocked they weren't kangaroos in Austria. That was really funny. It was incredibly funny. That Austria don't have kangaroos is because they're so poor. They told me this was a snack in Germany. I mean, it looks pretty good though. Cheese and stuff. Like, yeah, I'll have that cheese. Brother, Germans or Europeans in general have the worst food. That's a known fact. Don't get me started on their fast food options. If you want to compare good food, maybe you shouldn't bring up like fast food in the same option. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy myself a slobby burger from time to time, but this is a weird comment. I wouldn't say that me enjoying a slobby burger on like on a Friday evening when I'm tipsy is the same thing as fine dining or whatever. You know, that's kind of different. A new poll shows Germans now distrust the USA nearly as much as they distrust Russia. So here's the partners of Germany. USA has 76% distrust, Russia has 83%. God damn. I mean, that's good news for US. Nazis shouldn't like you. I have lost so many brain cells in this. This is nuts. I don't think I've ever had such a brain cell unfriendly video. How the frig uses 14/10? Everyone outside of US. But you all say the date the same but choose to write it differently. Just write it how you speak it. It is how you say it. The 14th of October. Many Europeans would kill for an American green card to escape the routine misery of European-style socialism and experience the opportunities of American capitalism. Yet Americans themselves seem to be the only ones who don't realize how blessed their country is. Like those murderous Greenlanders. Dear God. Why payment is confusing in America. USA invented banking, so there is a lot of technical baggage. When was banking first invented? Banking, in its earliest form of lending and storage, was invented around 2000 BCE in ancient Mesopotamia. Is that in Ohio? Is Mesopotamia 2000 BC in Ohio? That's Ohio, right? I'm pretty fucking sure that's Ohio. You may have to tone it down a bit. Any Dutch person I've met has been so blunt and direct, to the point that I asked my son, was his friend autistic? That's an interesting sentence. He had so little understanding of what to say or not to say, in an Irish context, of course. What do you mean? What do you mean an Irish? What? His reply,
No, just Dutch.
I am 6th generation Dutch American, and I still have to tone it down. My family is wonderful, but they can be pretty embarrassing. Ah, yes, indeed, the family trauma of Dutch directness that goes down 6 generations, or what? In an Irish context, of course, something about that line makes me think that person is 6th generation Irish American. Probably, yeah. Nothing like a healthy Nordic nap in -2 degrees Celsius. Oh, that's a classic. I used to sleep like this when I was a wee lad, and other wee laddies do it as well. It's very sweet. Celsius is so funny and dramatic. What do you mean? Yeah, 0 degree freezing point and 100 degree boiling point. So silly, it makes way more sense to have freezing at 32 degrees and boiling at 212, all willy-nilly. How do we pick the points for this Fahrenheit? We just toss a dart at it. Oh, it hit 212, baby, that's the one. 2025 update nuked my German and Norwegian DNA. I was wondering if anyone else here had any similar experiences. I know for a fact I am German because my grandfather is from there, and it's to complete 0 now. I am not completely sure I'm Norwegian, but I could see it due to certain features, and I was a little sad to see it go. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it will come back in the 2026 update. I mean, it sounds like they're getting patch notes to their DNA, kind of similar to, I don't know, a Steam game, but I think it's because the database of the DNA service is updating, and then they can track the trees and stuff more accurately, and very small percentages can easily fall off if it turns out like that one person from that really far away timeline wasn't actually from there because something in the base updated. So, you know, that's why you don't tattoo the 1% DNA things on you, because it's within like the margin of error and stuff. It's very small. Just in, European Union opens investigation into Elon Musk's AI Grok. The EU is like that one neighbor accosts a homeowner association because your grass is 0.5 inches too long, but for the entire internet. I don't know, man. If the homeowner association was complaining about that one neighbor who was randomly undressing people against their consent to pass them by, I think the homeowner association has a pretty valid point. Europeans' dream life? What even is this like an American school or something? I don't even know what this is, man. God. That feeling when you have something Trump wants so badly but will never have. Hey, your land, our choice. Get a job. Now it's no longer your body, my choice. Now it's your land, our choice. These are the most unlikable people to ever bless this earth. When you ask someone where they are from and they give their state, not their country. I'm from Texas. I am from the Masovian Voivodeship. Voivod... My dyslexia cannot handle this. Air Canada passenger goes viral claiming airline serves 6-month expired meal, but she just read the date wrong. Because Americans don't understand international date formats. I also find it really funny that a story this incredibly mundane and dull went viral. Must have been a slow news week. Hey, 90s kids! Remember these nostalgia bombs? Prepare to feel old! TV show only aired in North America, toy only sold in North America, beverage only sold in North America, snack only produced in North America. Oh my god, I've had this experience with like some of my friends who are American when they're like, oh yeah bro, you're also from the 90s or whatever. Do you remember the Horgan Dorgans that you used to eat when you grew up? They were my entire childhood. What? Politics, breaking. Technology Secretary Liz Kendall says creating a non-consensual imitate images, including with Grok, will be made illegal this week. That's good. That's a good idea. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is just an objectively good thing. First Amendment concerns? Yeah, you see? UK? What? The world is Beautiful. Thank you so much for watching this video. Wonderful, beautiful beings, where we can laugh about the insanities of the world together. Makes you feel a little bit better because at least we can laugh about it. Woo! Have an amazing rest of your day because you do deserve it, and I will see you in the very next video. Take care. Mwah.